Welcome to English with Shams. In order to speak English fluently and communicate effectively, you have to understand and practice important aspects of English language like grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, and communication. In our course, 30 Days English Speaking Challenge, these aspects are explained in detail with examples. In this video, you will learn active voice and passive voice and relevant rules.
Types of voices. Whatever we have discussed, that was actually active voice. And active voice, we discussed about types of tenses, and that was the syntax or the rule. But here in kinds of sentences which we are discussing today, we will see those things. For example, you can say like he did this work. This is in active voice. But same thing we can say in passive voice, this work was done by him. You see, was is used and ing form of verb is not being used. The third form of the verb is used. I think this is your question, right, Sabi?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So this is what we are discussing now. All right. So let's start with kinds of sentences. So in the kinds of sentences, kinds of voices. The last time what we discussed in detail, it was types of tenses where we discussed about all these different types. Now we are discussing about types of voices. Okay, so in this one, we have active voice and passive voice. So voice, what is the meaning of voice? Because we are discussing about kinds of voices or types of voices. Voice is the form of the verb which indicates whether the subject does the work or something has been done to it. So if you remember, in any sentence, again, refer the documents. Kinds of sentences we have discussed. The kinds of sentences, any sentence, the sentence is divided into two parts. One is subject, another one is predicate. In the subject part, we have subject. In the predicate part, we have verb and rest of the words. Okay, so now here, voice is the form of the verb which indicates whether the subject does the work or something has done to it. Okay, what is subject in the sentence?
Work. Voice.
The one who is doing it.
Yes.
That is the subject. For example, now look at one sentence. So see, I went to Hyderabad to pick up my elder brother. So I is the subject because he is the one who is doing it. And elder brother is now here is the object because this subject is speaking this object. Okay, and now look at this one. I went to Abu Dhabi to deliver corporate training. So all right. So this is the subject. Okay. So when we talk about, so voice is the form of verb which indicates whether the subject does the work or something has been done to it. So there are two types of voices or kinds of voices. One is active voice. So whatever we have discussed here, that is in types of tenses, that is all about active voice. That is all active voice, what we have discussed. What is active voice? When the subject of a sentence is the doer or actor, the verb is in active voice. So it is so because the subject is active. Because what you have seen that in our types of tenses is what we have seen that the subject was doing everything. So if you look at some of the examples, like here, I write a book. I is a subject. So who is writing? For example, like John writes a book. Who is writing a book? John. So John is a subject. Who is writing it? So then what it says in the active voice, when the subject of a sentence is the doer or the actor. So the subject is actually the one who is doing it, like here, whether it is past, present, future, whatever. All right. So when the subject of a sentence is the doer or actor, the verb is in active voice. So it is so because the subject is active. Subject is active. Now, what is passive voice? When the subject of a sentence is acted upon, the verb is in passive voice. It is so because the subject is passive. So now let's look at some of these sentences. Can you see here? I do this work. Now, please identify which tense it is. Anyone?
Present tense.
Present tense. In present again, which one?
Indefinite.
Present indefinite, right? I do this work. Like now we have come to, so like I write a book. Instead of write, here is the do verb which is used. I do this work. Similarly, look at this one. He did this work. What is this? Which tense it is?
Past tense.
Past.
Simple.
Past
Past.
indefinite tense or past simple tense, right?
Yeah.
Past indefinite.
Fast indefinite or simple, you can say. So you in present indefinite, it is I do this work. Past indefinite, it is he did this work. Right? Now, if you try to express same thing in passive voice, for example, active voice is I do this work, but passive voice is this work is done by me. At the end, you are conveying same message that this is done actually. So in the first active voice, what you are emphasizing I. That is your subject. I do this work. Work is actually your object. So first you are starting your sentence with subject, then object. Then it is called as active voice. If you are starting your sentence with subject, then it is active voice. If you are starting your sentence with object, then it is called as passive voice. So as you can see here, I do, I is a subject. This work is object. But in this case, you are starting your sentence with this work is done by me. Similarly, he did this work. And so it is starting with the subject, right? So which is in past indefinite. So same you can convey in another way, like this work was done by him. So in active voice or types of tenses, we have seen different rules and syntaxes that first come, like if it is present indefinite, then first subject, then verb, and the rest of the things, right? Similarly, if it is past, whatever the syntax. Similarly, for passive voice, there are rules or syntax that we will be discussing. Now, look at another sentence, like Monica opened the door. Now, what is which tense it is?
Present tense.
Present.
Perfect tense.
Past indefinite. Monica opened the door. Am I right? It is past indefinite tense. Monica opened the door. So as we know that in past indefinite, what is the syntax? Subject, then verb, second form of the verb, and the rest of the thing. So you can see the subject is Monica. The verb is second form of the verb open, open, opened, opened. So if you look at the sentences, types or parts of speech in this one, Okay, here I might not have included, but the open, opened, opened, right? So let's say the let me open the free dictionary. The word open, when it is used as a verb, look at different forms of verb. Okay, when we use, so when it is used as an adjective, this is the meaning. If we use this, oh yeah, when it is used as a verb, then the first form is open, and the second and third form is opened. Ing form is opening, and in case of present indefinite, if we need to add a yes or es, then it is opens. Okay, all right. So here, this is uh, past indefinite tense. Now it is in active voice. In passive voice, the door was opened by Manika, right? So what's happening here? If you look at the voice, in active voice, we start sentence with subject, then we have verb, and then the object. But in case of passive voice, we start sentence with object, then we have verb, and then subject. We interchange, right? So active voice, it starts with subject, verb, and object. But in case of passive voice, we bring subject first, then we have verb, and then we have we bring, yeah. So in passive voice, we are starting with object. Okay. So there are some rules which we will see here. What are the rules? We start with object, and then different rules are there that we will be discussing. So now the passive voice is used when we want to emphasize the action or the verb, or action or whatever the verb, and the object of a sentence rather than subject. So in our active voice, we emphasize on subject, but in passive voice, we emphasize on object and the verb. Okay, so passive voice is used when we want to emphasize the action or the verb and the object of a sentence rather than the subject. This means that subject is either less important than the action itself, or that we don't know who or what the subject is. So in these cases, the passive voice is used. So passive voice is used in English to stress the action done rather than the doer of the action. The passive voice is used if the doer is unknown and when it is more convenient. Passive voice is used in these scenarios. So passive voice is used to stress the action done rather than the doer of the action. If the doer is unknown, when it is more convenient. Okay, so let's make some sentences first. Like you see here, Columbus discovered America. In history, you might have learned this one. Columbus discovered America. It is an active voice. Whatever we have learned in types of tenses. But the same message I can convey like this. America was discovered by Columbus. Okay, so it is in active voice. When I'm converting this active voice into passive voice, my sentence is starting with object. Because in our active voice, the object is America. Subject is Columbus, the one who discovered. Then discovered is a verb. Then this is the object which is discovered, America. But in our passive voice, we are starting our sentence with our object, then we have a verb, then our subject. Okay. Another sentence. Who did this work? Question. Which question it is?
WH
WH question. In WH question, in which tense it is?
Indefinite. Past.
Past indefinite. Perfect. So WH question in past indefinite. So same question you can ask in passive voice. By whom was this work done? Was this work done? Now, in active voice, open the window. Yeah, which tense it is?
Present indefinite.
Present indefinite. So same in passive voice, you can say, let the window be opened. Now, this one, he is writing a letter. Which tense it is?
Present.
Then present again.
Continuous. Continuous.
Present continuous tense. He is writing a letter. So in passive voice, a letter is being written by him. Yes, now this sentence. Yes, which tense it is? Please read and tell me about this sentence.
I will finish the work.
Okay, so can you please identify parts of speech in this sentence?
I subject.
And subject and what else it is? It's a
Noun.
pronoun. Pronoun, right?
It's a pronoun. Pronoun.
It's
Yes,
a subject and it is a subject, and here we are using pronoun. Okay, then
will is a verb.
helping verb.
Helping verb.
Okay, then
And finish the work. Work is object.
what about finish?
Finish. Sorry, sir. I don't
Is a verb.
remember.
Finish is a verb.
Verb. Okay.
Will-
Verb.
Yeah, I is a subject, a pronoun
Yeah.
which we are using as a subject. Will is a helping verb.
Helping
Finish
verb.
is a verb, right? Da is the article. The work is
Work
the
is
our object. It
object.
is actually a noun. All right, right. So here we are using we are using the article the, because we are talking about a specific verb, a particular verb. That's why the is used. So same sentence, same message you can convey in passive voice. The work will be finished by me. Right, now let's look at, yes, anyone please read out this sentence, then then identify tense and of course parts of speech. Yes, anyone?
Somebody cleaned the room yesterday.
Somebody
Cleaned the room yesterday.
cleaned. Somebody cleaned
Room,
the room yesterday. Okay, so identify the tense.
Present.
past tense.
Past indefinite.
Past indefinite. Simple.
Yes, identify parts of speech.
Somebody is subject.
Hmm.
Pronoun.
Clean it.
Yeah, somebody is a
Yeah.
subject. It is actually pronoun. Perfect. Then cleaned.
Clean it. Verb.
Cleaned.
Clean
Cleaned is a which
Verb.
form of the verb it is?
is third form.
Second form of the verb, because in
Second
past indefinite we use second form. Actually, clean is a first form, cleaned, second and third form. Same is form is used.
Yes.
Okay, then
The articles.
the, because
The
the, and after this one we can see that whatever noun we have, it is with consonant sound, not with vowel sound.
Consonant.
So it should be the. It should be the correct pronunciation should be, sorry, the, because it is a consonant sound, right? The room. The what about room?
room.
What
Room
is this?
is
A noun.
nouns.
Noun.
Mm,
Right?
yeah.
And what about
Noun.
yesterday?
Yesterday.
What is this?
Yesterday's
Also
Verb.
a noun. Noun.
noun. Yeah.
So, and in passive voice, the room was cleaned by somebody yesterday. Okay, so the message which you would like to convey is same in active voice and passive voice. Okay, but in active voice, we emphasize on the subject. That's why it is starting with the subject. But in passive voice, we emphasize on the object. So, for example, in the active voice, Columbus discovered America. So we are emphasizing or focusing on the Columbus, because whichever word comes first, we give more importance to it. But here in passive voice, we are emphasizing on America. So America was discovered by Columbus. But at the end, we are conveying same message. Am I right? Whether we are using active voice or passive voice, you see at the end, same message is conveyed or different message? What do you think?
Same.
Same message, right? Right. Now, let's look at some rules. So passive voice for all tenses, there are some rules which we need to take care. So like the places of subject and object in sentence are interchanged in passive voice. So what happened when we are converting active voice into passive voice? In active voice, we have subject, verb, and object. But in passive voice, we start with subject, then verb, and then we have, in passive voice, we start with object, then verb and subject. Okay. So this is one rule. So it is saying the places of subject and object in sentence are interchanged in passive voice. This is one rule. And the second rule is third form of verb will be used only in passive form. So whenever we are converting from active voice to passive voice, in passive voice, always third form of the verb is used. You see here, always third form. There is no ing form, there is no first form, there is no second form, only third form of the verb is used. This is second rule. Third form of verb, that is past participle, will be used only as main verb in passive voice. And the third rule is auxiliary verb for each tense are given in the, okay, we will see the table, different auxiliary verbs which are used. Okay, note, the following tenses cannot be changed into passive voice. So if we have one sentence in present perfect continuous, so we cannot make passive voice of the sentence from here. We cannot make passive voice of past perfect continuous tense. We cannot make future perfect continuous tense. We cannot make future perfect continuous. And sentences having intransitive verb. So in these cases, we cannot make tenses, we cannot convert from active voice to passive voice. But for rest of them, we can convert. If in order to, yeah, you can see present simple tense, how to make passive voice in present simple tense. So we have active voice, like he sings a song. It is in active voice, which is present simple tense. If we try to convert this active voice into passive voice, and this active voice is in present simple tense, then what we need to do is, as you can see, first we need to bring object, then we have verb, and then subject. So what we are doing, a song, yeah, you can see here, he sings a song. And the passive voice of this one is, a song is sung by him. So what you need to see that we are going to use is, am, or are, the helping verb of present continuous we are going to use here, and always third form of the verb, and before the subject we use by. Okay, so he sings a song is sung by him. He does not sing a song is not sung by him. Does he sing a song is a song sung by him. Okay, so let's make some sentence first. Yes, anyone would like to make a sentence in present simple, then we will convert to passive voice. Yes, anyone? Make a sentence in present simple tense first, then we will convert.
I write a book.
Okay. I write a book. What do you think? What should be the
A book
passive voice?
written by him.
Written. Okay, let me put like this. Okay. Yeah. Let's insert a table. Now, okay. So let's insert a table, and then let me make some changes. Add some look and feel to this table. Okay. This side we have active voice, and this side is passive. Okay. Now, your sentence, as you said, it is I write a book. I write a book. Then let me put another column here and add tense. Here we have tense, right? It is present simple, all right, or indefinite. So when you make a sentence in present indefinite, and what is the rule when we convert that one? First of all, as it is applicable, first, so in this sentence, I is the subject, which is a pronoun, write is a verb, a, which is pronounced as a, is an article, which is indefinite article. Book is a noun, which is now in this sentence, it is an object. It is an object. So when we convert from active voice to passive voice, our sentence starts with object. So a book. Okay, and then in case of present simple, if we are converting from active voice to passive voice, then based on the whatever, now we have the object here, which is actually subject in passive voice, becomes subject. Based on this one, we use the helping verb. So when we use this book, book is what is this? Which part of the speech it is? Book. Whether it is a verb, adverb, noun, pronoun, what is this?
Noun.
It's a noun, right?
Yes.
Right. If in present present continuous, if what is the helping verb which is used with a noun or third person singular? Is, right? All right. So
Is, yes.
yeah, is, right. So now that is a book is, and then the third form of the verb, a book is written by me, because it is I, and the passive form of the I is me. So look at the verb, this one again. Let's take that. Parts of a speech. In parts of a speech, yes, can you see here? In adjective form, in this, if we are using this pronoun, if we are using pronouns, then it should be like I, we, you, all these ones. If it is used as, you know, and if it becomes object in the sentence, then it should be me, us, you, like this. Keep this in mind now. Okay, if we are using pronouns as a subject, then this is the nominative case we need to use. If we are using if pronoun is used as an object, then instead of I, we should use me. Instead of we should use us. Okay, so now what is, so it is I. So in active voice, I here, it is actually the subject. But now I is converted into object, and if it is object, then instead of I, it should be me. So a book is written by me. So what you need to do what you need to do is, whenever you are converting from active voice to passive voice with the simple present tense, then we always need to make sure that the verb which is used in passive voice is third form, and if it is simple present, then the helping verb of continuous we are going to use here. Okay, and first the subject, first the object of the active voice will become, the object of active voice here in passive voice becomes a subject, and subject of active voice becomes object, and before the object by is used. This is the rule here. Now, next, anyone, let's make another sentence in present simple. Make another sentence in present simple, which we can convert to passive voice. Let's say here, all right. So I teach business. I'm going to use the short form. I teach business English. I teach business English to, let's say, Sabi. Okay. So when I convert this into passive voice, what should be the answer? Convert. So first of all, object of active voice becomes passive, subject of passive voice. So object is Sabi here. Then, since it is present simple and we are converting present simple in active voice into passive voice, then based on this subject now in the passive voice, the helping verb which we use in present continuous is used. So if the Sabi is subject, then what is the helping verb in present continuous for third person singular? Is. Sabi is, then third form of the verb. Third form of the verb teach. What is the third form of the verb teach? Look at the list of verb. Teach. Taught. This must be taught. Teach, taught, taught. Third form of the verb. Sabi is, I teach business English to Sabi. Sabi is taught business English by me. By me. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now, similarly, another simple. Let's say, Shahbaz takes him to a restaurant, for example. Takes him to restaurant. Okay, then now please convert this to passive voice. Because now identify the subject and object and verb in first active voice first.
Restaurant.
What is Shahbaz now here?
Shahbaz is subject.
Subject, right? So it means subject becomes object in passive voice.
Right.
Okay. And then takes is a verb. And then what is about him? Him, it is actually object here. Because Shahbaz is taking him to restaurant. All right. So now it will be like him. So it is the objective case, but now this object becomes subject here. So look at the verb. him. Because if it is used as an object, it is him. If it is used as a subject, then it is he. Okay. So now the object of the active voice is becoming subject of the passive voice. So it should be he. He. Okay. He is the is helping verb, and then takes the taken, take, took, taken. So he taken, he is taken to a restaurant by Shahbaz. Okay, this is one thing. Now let's consider some more sentences. Let's say, yeah, here itself we discuss like, yeah, okay. So this is about present simple tense, how to convert. Now, if the sentence is present continuous, then what is the rule? So like, I'm writing a letter. This is present continuous. If I'm trying to convert present continuous active voice into passive voice, then again, same thing. The subject of the active voice becomes, object of the active voice becomes subject of the passive voice. Then here we will use two helping verbs, right? Is, are, or am along with being. It is used. So like, I am writing a letter. A letter is being written by me. A letter is being written by me. Okay, so I am not writing a letter. A letter is not being written by me. Am I writing a letter? Is a letter being written by me? Okay. So as we know, whenever there is a simple question, helping verb comes first. So here also helping verb, it is starting with helping verb, and in passive voice, it is also starting with the correct helping verb. Okay, so let's do one thing. What we can do is we will make write. Okay, write. We will use and make some sentences. So, right. Let's do one thing. I'm going to make this sentence. Copy this table. Now let's make it simple, easy to understand. Okay. Like, I write a letter. Okay. Then the passive voice is, a letter is written by me. Right. And in present continuous, same thing. If I make continuous, it is like, I am writing a letter, and passive voice of this one is, letter is a letter is being written by me. Can you see here? Actually, being helping verb is added, because if we are converting present simple active voice to passive voice, is used, and if we are converting present continuous active voice to passive voice, then it is, a letter is being written by me. Just additional being is added. Okay, additional being is added. So many other examples are also there. So okay, then yes, that is present continuous tense when we convert. Then we have present perfect tense. If we are converting present perfect tense to passive voice, then perfect tense like, she has finished this work. And the passive voice, the work has been finished by her. She has not finished her work. her work has not been finished by her, right? And has she finished her work? Has her work been finished by her? So what you can say that if we are converting present perfect tense to passive voice, then we are going to use additional helping verb been with has or have. Okay, like she has finished this work, then this work has been finished by her. So as we know that has been is used in perfect continuous and ing form is used. Similarly, is are used in continuous and ing form is used. But here, since we are converting to passive voice, and in passive voice, always third form of the verb is used, and which tense we are converting to passive voice, accordingly we have the helping verb. This is what we need to understand. Okay, so let me make this sentence present perfect. Okay, so please make a sentence in present perfect by using this similar to what we have made this sentence, these sentences. Yes, anyone?
I has written a letter.
I have written a letter. Yes, anyone would like to convert this into passive voice?
A letter is
A letter?
written by me.
No, we are not using.
A letter is been
A letter
is has been have been
letter have been
written
written by me. See the differences? Always third form of the verb and by is used. Then we have the object here. Only the difference is helping verb. Like there is a change in helping verb here, similarly here. Okay. And as discussed, we can convert active voice of from present point of view. We cannot convert present perfect continuous tense to passive voice. Only simple continuous and perfect we can convert, but present perfect continuous tense we cannot convert from active voice to passive voice. Okay, this is the one thing. Now go to future past and look at some sentences. Once a week, Tom cleans the house. So now tell me in which tense it is. Once a week, Tom cleans the house.
Present and simple.
Present and simple. So if we are converting this present and simple, then you see the passive voice. Once a week, the house is cleaned by Tom. Okay. Now, please read this one and tell me about the the tense and other things. Yeah, this sentence.
Who does teach you business English?
Okay. And then the passive voice. Okay, now which tense it is? Which tense it is?
WH question in present tense.
Present simple. In present present simple WH question. And now convert to passive voice. Yes, this one. Read out.
By whom are you taught business English?
Okay, this is the one. All right. So now this one. Read out this sentence. Shehbaz, now it's your turn.
Right now, Sarah is writing the letter. Present continuous.
Right. So whenever you see comma, so as soon as there is a comma, you need to take short pause. Just need to stop for some time. Right now, Sarah is writing a letter. It should not look like continuous. It should, there must be some pause right after the comma. So you should say right now, Sarah is writing the letter. Okay, so it is in present continuous, right? Then when you convert, please read out this.
Right now, the letter is being written by Sarah.
By Sarah, right? So try to understand how we are converting. Okay, now next one. Yes, Faiz, now it's your turn.
Many tourists have visited that castle.
Castle, okay.
Castle.
Now please tell me which tense it is.
Simple present.
Oh no, boss, have visited. You see, have is
Have-
used in perfect tense. And
Sorry.
right, this is a perfect, present perfect tense. Now we
Present
are
perfect.
converting it to passive voice. What is the passive voice?
That castle has been visited by many tourists.
Many tourists. Okay. Right. Now some other examples you can see here. Wine is made from grapes. So directly it is in the passive voice. So some sentences we just need to make in passive voice. We cannot make in active voice. So that is only the way, like wine is made from grapes. Right? Many cars are made in Japan. The document is being sent right now. I am being sent to work in the London office. That startup has been sold for 5 million. The rights to this rights to his books have been sold for $250,000. So some sentences we have to make in passive voice only. We cannot make them in active voice. Some sentences we can make only in active voice. We cannot make in passive voice. Okay. So for example, can you see whether it is passive voice or active voice? Now tell me. Wine is made from grapes.
Passive voice.
Passive voice, right? Because you see you are using is helping verb and the third form of the verb. But in active voice, whenever we use the helping verb is, it should be with ing form. Right? But here third form of the verb is used. This is how you can easily identify whether it is active voice or passive voice. Okay. Similarly, right? Can you make? Can we convert this passive voice into active voice? Right. So some sentences should be in active passive voice only. Some sentences should be in active voice only. So we will see how. Now, if we have sentence in past tense, then how to convert that past tense into active voice? So like first it starts with past simple tense. Past simple tense. Now please read out this one and tell me in which form it is and all that. Okay, let me read. I killed a snake, which is past simple tense. And when I try to convert this active voice into passive voice, a snake was killed by me. Because you see here it is past. So that's why we are using helping verb of the past. Okay, so since it is a simple tense, and in our passive voice, we are using the helping verb of continuous. Same thing we have done here also. For a simple tense, we are using the helping verb of continuous. And since it is present simple, so that's why present continuous helping verb is used, right? And in present continuous tense, we are using being, we are adding being helping verb to it. Okay, and for present perfect, have the being helping verb is added. Okay, similarly here also in the past, I killed a snake, which is in past. So and a snake was killed by me. So was is used third form. The only change is here what is you was. Okay, I did not kill a snake. A snake was not killed by me. So this is also in past. We cannot convert past simple tense into present. So if it is in past, then it should also be in past. Did I kill a snake? Was a snake killed by me? Okay, so let me make a sentence here. Now, in present simple, what is now? Please make a letter has been written by me. Yeah, please make a sentence, similar sentence in past simple.
I wrote a letter.
I wrote a letter. Then it should be as a thumb rule. Object
letter,
of the active voice should comes as it becomes subject. A letter
wrote by me. Letter
was
wrote by me. Right, written by me.
written by me. Okay, because it is in past, so we are using past continuous helping verb. And here similarly, same thing, comparison. Okay, okay, this is how you need to understand. I wrote a letter was written by me. Okay, so that is our simple past simple tense. In past continuous tense, he was driving a car. A car was being driven by him. He was not driving a car. A car was not being driven by him. Was he driving a car? Was a car being driven by him? Okay, so let's now, yes, Faiz, now it's your turn. Present continuous.
It's
Make
past continuous.
Past
Past
Past.
continuous was past simple.
Continuous. Okay, past. It is okay. It is past. Past. Then we have past here. Past continuous. Now please make sentence in past.
I was writing a letter.
I was writing a letter. All right. Now convert this to this one.
A letter. A letter had been.
A letter was.
A letter was
A
being.
letter
Was being read by me.
written by me. Okay. See the differences. Now, the past perfect tense. They had completed the assignment. The assignment had been completed by them. They had not completed the assignment. The assignment had not been completed by them. Had they completed the assignment? Had the assignment been completed by them? Okay. Now, Shahbaz, it's your turn. Make past perfect. Past perfect tense. Yes. Similar to this.
I had written a letter.
I had written a letter. And convert to passive voice.
A letter had been
A letter
written by me.
had been written by me. All right, because we are the been helping verb is additionally added. A letter has been written by me. Okay, so some more sentences. Look at Sam repaired the car. The car was repaired by Sam. Who did teach you business English? By whom were you taught business English? Who ate the last cookie? The last cookie was eaten by whom? No one responded to my sales ad. My sales ad was not responded by anyone. Okay, right? Similarly, so you see, John was invited to speak at the conference. You can see here, I have directly made this sentence in passive voice because it is grammatically correct only in passive voice. So John was invited to speak at the conference. We were invited to Daniel and Mary's wedding. Right? The dog was being washed when I got home. So these are the sentences directly, in passive voice. These cars were being washed away while they were in the mall shopping. The new manager had been hired before the John left the company. All the employees had been hired before the store opened. So some sentences should be in passive voice. Okay. Now, future tense. She will buy a car. A car will be bought by her. She will not buy a car. A car will not be bought by her. Will she buy a car? Will a car be bought by her? Okay. Now let's make sentence here. Now it's Sabhi, it's your turn. Make it future simple, similar to the above. Yes.
I will write a letter.
I will write a letter. Now here you can see will be that is be additional helping verb is added. So please make convert into passive voice.
A letter will
A letter will be written by me. Okay, that is simple future. Now go to because when it comes to future, we can convert only future simple tense and future perfect tense to active voice. So as mentioned above, future continuous tense and future perfect tense cannot be converted into passive voice. Okay, now the last one, future perfect tense. So you will have started the job. So the job will have been started by you. You will not have started the job. The job will not have been started by you. Will you have started the job? Will the job have been started by you? Okay. So now let's make a sentence here in future perfect. Yes, Faiz, it's your turn.
I have been writing a letter. I have been write a letter.
I will have.
I will have.
I will have.
Write.
I will have written a letter. It is a perfect, right? I will have written a letter. Now convert to passive voice.
A letter will have been written by
me.
me.
Okay. So you can see that present simple continuous can be converted into passive voice, but present perfect tense cannot be converted into passive voice. Similarly, past simple continuous can be converted into passive voice, but past perfect tense cannot be converted to passive voice. And future simple and perfect can be converted into passive voice, but future continuous and perfect continuous cannot be converted into passive voice. Okay, now let's look at some more sentences. You see, someone will finish the work. Someone will finish the work by 5 p.m. The work will be finished by 5 p.m. by someone. Okay. Sally is going to make a beautiful dinner tonight. So I think it should be not beautiful. It should be like something other adjective must be used, right? So Sally is going to make a delightful dinner tonight, you can say. So a beautiful or delightful dinner is going to be made by Sally tonight. At 8 p.m. tonight, John will be washing the dishes. At 8 p.m. tonight, the dishes will be being washed by John. Now, some sentences which we can make only in passive voice in future. So that is, that contract will be signed tomorrow. The documents will be, the documents will all be signed by next week. A bridge is going to be built within next 2 years. All right. So these are the sentences, some examples, right? Right. So now look at some sentences like a passport can only be issued at the embassy. He said the documents could be issued within the week. A baby sitter has to be arranged for this evening. John's travel plans have to be arranged by December. Criminals must be stopped before they commit crimes. Okay, so this is about active voice and passive voice. Okay, so these are the rules which we need to understand when we are converting active voice to passive voice. Okay, similar, yeah, and where we need to use only active voice, where we need to use only passive voice, that we have to understand. All right, so today we completed this types of speech. Tomorrow, sorry, we completed types of voices. Tomorrow we will discuss about types of speeches. Okay, so any question related to types of voices? So some more sentences I'd like to add. So this document, parts of speech, you need to refer to know different pronouns, right? In case of subject, if it is used as a subject, if it is used as a object, if it is used as an adjective or pronouns, you know, like this. And different forms of verbs. Which form of verb should be used where? So as a thumb rule, in case of passive voice, what you need to understand, always third form of the verb is used. And when it comes to helping verb, it again depends whether that active voice is in present, if it is in present, whether it is in simple or continuous or perfect, then accordingly here we have to use the helping verbs. Okay. All right. So any question before we conclude today's session? While practicing, I want you people to, you know, follow the same, you know, in the same way, try to compare. If you compare, then things becomes easy. Okay. When you are practicing, compare, write. Okay. Yes. Any question before we conclude today's session? Have you faced any new, you know, while practicing, have you faced any challenge, or have you come across any new word or some kind of confusion while reading newspaper or watching English news? You might have come across something and it may not, and it might have created some queries or questions in your mind. So, all right, so it seems no question, then let's conclude and see you in the next session. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this video. Follow us and practice to enhance your English fluency.